Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing a psychic reading on the Pussycat Dolls. I'm going to be giving you the psychic tea, what I see for the group. So for those of you that didn't know who the Pussycat Dolls were or are, they are a group, a girl band, a girl group of very talented dancers, singers, songwriters, and they are performers. And the group was originally consisted of 6 members, if I'm not mistaken. Melody Thornton is not here on pictured here, but I believe in around 2010. I believe that was like almost like the ending of their group, where they all went separate ways. And Nicole Scherzinger, that we see here in the center forefront, she was the lead vocalist, and also went on to do other, like, X Factor in the UK and other shows. And she kind of went into like the judging realm, and kind of coaching young artists and people who may have wanted to get in the industry. As far as the other girls, I didn't follow them, so I don't know what they've been up to. But this reading is really about the dynamic, the energy that I see now that we're in 2019, and that they have announced that they are coming back for a reunion. What is the psychic tea? Is it gonna work this time? What was going through Melody's mind, when she was in the group, and what were the girls thinking of her? And so I'm here to dish all that tea, and of course what I see for them as a group. So I'm gonna start with overall, the energy of the group is very good. I feel like with Kimberly, she's very sweet. She's ready for this. It's like a reinvention for all of them. With Jessica, I feel like she's really invested in it. With Nicole, though, I think a lot of people may be looking at me and saying, when they listen to this, that maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like, there is still something bothering Nicole. I don't know if it's because, in the past, I feel like certain members thought that maybe there was more spotlight given to her than other people, but of course that's very possible, because she was like the lead singer, and they had hits like loosen up my buttons, loosen up that, and then like don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me, that one, that song. Okay, but I'm not going to try to sing for you. And then with they had so many other hits that I could mention. They did a song with Avant, I believe, and I love the Pussycat Dolls when they were, back in the day, when they were, very popular. So here's the, this is what I am going to tell you, what I see for them. With Ashley, I feel like she's really interested in this project. With is it Carmit? I don't know how you say her name. Bashar, she's a very beautiful lady, the redhead. I feel like she's very intuitive too, like very spiritual. I feel like they're going to be bringing some new flavor and spice to the group. This group of girls now that they have here. What about Melody? What is going through her mind? I feel like she didn't mesh well with Nicole and with some other people in the group. I think that she also wanted to be more in the spotlight. And things just didn't turn out that way. I do feel like she did bring a lot of toxicity when I tune in to the actual group, and so I feel like it was a unanimous decision, maybe like not to have her back, and honestly that's what I feel. It was like a mutual decision, and it was like an executive decision. I feel like there's a lot of bad blood, and you just can't go back to those kind of circumstances. But when it comes to the group now as a present, this is a time of celebration. I feel like they're being given a second chance by the universe. I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe that they are coming together, because the record company wants to make money off of them. I don't see that. I feel like this is really, truly the stars and planets aligned, and it's time for them to come back together as a girl group and have hits. And I think we're going to see Destiny's Child. I've been talking about Destiny's Child reuniting. I feel like this is the time where a lot of girl bands and girl groups, like bands that like the Fifth Harmony, when they disbanded, you know, they went separate ways. You know, in the next couple of years, you never know, they could come back again together. Now, I don't think every girl group or every band is going to be doing that, but for the most part, I do feel like the Pussycat Dolls are still can bring some you know, flavor to the music industry and bring some dynamic and some new energy, you know, even though they are mature ladies, because you have to understand their core fan base now would be, again, people that grew up listening to them. I would say anyone in their mid to late 20s, all the way up to their mid 30s. Those people would be the ages, you know, of the people that were fans of the Pussycat Dolls. And then I feel like with them reemerging, you know, they're still pretty young, these ladies. They could develop some new fan base, you know. That's the whole question. Will they be able to be so successful? I don't see them having the exact same success that they had when they were, you know, younger, obviously. But I do see this as a time of celebration. They are going to be very busy. They are going to have success. I do see more creative control when I tune into them. This time around, I feel like they are going to be able to call the shots. I do feel like there's a powerful man behind them. This could be their manager or someone in the record company, the executives, you know, that have the deciding factor at the end, you know, what cuts get in onto, what final cuts make it onto the album itself. But I do feel like there's a lot of more creative control. The girls are more mature now. Not that they weren't mature back then, but, you know, in age-wise and mentality-wise, and they have lived life. And I think if you haven't experienced life, you really can't understand, you know, and appreciate and change things back when you were like in your 20s, you know, early 20s. So for them, they are, you know, a lot of them are mothers now. A lot of them have families. They've, you know, had relationships. They've gone through the, you know, through situations in life that have prepared them up until this point for this pinnacle, you know, of success. And I do feel like they are going to be very successful. Though I do feel like the group is going to shock everyone, because I think everyone is expecting that very pop type of maybe R&B flavor, and they may have that, but they may also be experimenting with new music. This could be like some electronic infused, you know, with that. And I feel like also Nicole Scherzinger may not be the actual lead singer now. You know, they may share the stage and have like vocals from Carmen, and from, because Carmen was really good, and also, you know, Kimberly and Ashley and Jessica, they're really good. So it's going to be interesting how this, you know, all is arranged. But I feel like there's a creative, there's a cohesiveness now, and I don't feel like it's going to be a very stifling environment. The one person I am concerned about, though, is Nicole. And like I said, I feel like she kind of got out of that mindset, and she doesn't want to be judged as the person that was, you know, like when there was Destiny's Child. I'm just going to draw a comparison, you know, and you had all LaToya and all the original members there. There was a lot of focus on what Matthew Knowles was doing with Beyonce and putting her at the forefront, you know, and making her be the, you know, the top lead. You know, the camera was always on Beyonce. You know, she was going to eventually branch out. I feel like for Nicole, that was the same thing that they did in the past. But now, again, I feel like this is different. But she doesn't want the public to think that she is, you know, wanting to be in creative control to the point where she's like front and center, and she's like the only attention, you know, like she's the attention seeker, because she's not. I feel like she really is coming from a genuine place, but I do see that she's not necessarily comfortable with this, and I do feel like she has her doubts and her insecurities, you know, on how far they can go. There is traveling involved with them, so I don't know. I know that I heard that they're reuniting. I don't know if they're going to be doing touring. It's very possible that they will be doing tours, you know, after they release new music, etc. But I do see that. And I see them having to be strong, because now they're, you know, it's different when you're young and, you know, your body is a different way. Not that they're not banging, you know, they're beautiful, gorgeous ladies, you know, they're in great shape to be their age, you know, they don't even look their age. They still look like they're in their 20s. But, you know, there's so much criticism about, you know, older people that may, you know, see them and they're like, girl, you should stop dressing like that, or tone down the sexy factor and stuff like that. Y'all need to act your age. You know how some people are just being shady and messy, and I feel like that's the criticism that they're going to be facing, you know, upon reuniting and you know, having new music and putting out new content, they're going to be facing a lot of criticism from people, you know, regarding their style. And we'll see it in the tabloids. You'll see it. You'll see articles. You know, their method of singing now. You know, there's a lot of people that are going to be, you know, saying, well, they're missing a member of the group, so that was an additional voice, you know, that they had. And so there's going to be a lot of scrutiny, especially I think on Nicole, and she's the one that's going to have to be the strongest out of all of this. I don't know, but Spirit keeps saying that they all kind of didn't really plan this. I don't feel like it was planned, but Nicole, I feel like, and maybe Carmen, they both had some kind of intuition or knew intuitively that at some point they would reunite and that this would open some doors. I feel like this is a great move for them, because even though they all went their separate ways and, you know, life happened, I do feel like, you know, they didn't necessarily have to come back. Like, they would have still made their royalties off their music, you know, and everything, you know, albums sold still. But I feel like this was definitely something where it's going to change their lives completely. And I feel like this is a new era, because keep in mind, when they come out with a new album, it will be in 2020, 2021. It is a new decade. And I feel like a lot of like I said, a lot of these groups we're going to start seeing in a re-emergence, just like we saw with Charmed and how they did a reboot of that. I feel like a lot of groups, I don't think that's the proper word, a reboot. It's really reunited, but we're going to see a lot of reboots of previous artists that kind of maybe fizzled out and now are more mature. Like I said, things are changing in the music world, and they're changing for the better, because I think a lot of people that were diehard fans of the Pussycat Dolls and other people as well are going to be able to relate, and they're going to gain that core fan base back. But the question is, will they have longevity? Will they have #1 hits? That's still said to be, you know, is still needed to be seen. But I do feel like they will be collaborating with, you know, other artists. I do see a big collaboration with like a solo female artist that is very relevant now. And so that could actually launch them into, you know, the stratosphere again and having that success. But regardless, we all know, you know, that they're very talented. And when they come to perform, you know, when it comes to performing, they deliver and they never fall short. So, you know, it's just like, you know, Britney Spears, we all are waiting to see if she's going to come back as well. And I feel like, you know, with all of this, it's all happened for a reason. When I get back, going back into Kimberly, I do feel like she's pretty positive. I feel like, you know, there is, you know, some reservations on her part. Now, I don't know if this is because of her, you know, her personal life, her family, but some of the girls, you know, they're having to iron out a lot of details and know that they will be away from their families and friends for quite some time, you know, upon, you know, going on tour and performing, going back in the studio already, because I feel like they are already back in the studio. In fact, I think they even said they were back in the studio. So it's going to be fairly interesting, but I do feel like they're going to surprise a lot of us. We will not see it coming. They will have some hits. And again, I feel like it's going to be something really, really great. Now, one of them, I don't know. It may be Kermit. There will be something about TV for them. I don't know if they're going to do like a reality show as well. But there's plans of something around TV centered around all the Pussycat Dolls, and it will be interesting to see if this actually does happen. Like, I feel if they had a reality show, kind of like a docu-series, actually filming and kind of looking at their actual, you know, career now, it could like even draw even more interest to them. So it's going to be interesting. You know, I picked this up, you know, psychically, but you know, if it comes to pass, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I feel like there's something around TV, and I'm not talking about performances that they would normally go to, you know, like performances they would have airing on TV and shows that they put on, you know, during the holidays. No, not like that. But I do feel like there could be some success, like teaming up with a network like E! Network, you know, and having something where it follows the Pussycat Dolls now, and they kind of, you know, each member gets some screen time, and it's kind of like journaling, you know, vlogging their actual success and path now as adults, you know. and it could help many aspiring singers not to give up, especially for those, because there's many people in the world who have had careers in music, and for some reason or another, you know, they didn't find the success, or their record company never released an album, and so they ended up quitting, you know, and never wanting to go back. Maybe they can be like a pillar of support as hope, you know, for other generations not to give up. But, you know, everything, like I said, happens for a reason. And this is a time of celebration. While we do have the Pussycat Dolls reunited and together, we should really support them. If, you know, you like their music, of course, but I will be supporting them. I will be buying their albums and their singles, and I can't wait to see their videos and just what they're going to be bringing, because I'm very excited. According to what Spirit has given me, the tea, honey, it's going to be very spicy, and it's going to be different, you know, and a lot more, you know, hits, you know, that we haven't expected. So we shall see. But this was the Psychic Tea. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did like this video, please smash the like button. Don't forget to hit that red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of this video, as well as the notification bell icon. And also, if you haven't joined Patreon, you can join for $1.99 per month, my Patreon a subscription, and you'll have access to things that I haven't released yet and I may not release ever to YouTube, but it is exclusive to members. And I will be dropping some goodies on on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day here on my channel. There will be some goodies. There's a surprise, so I can't talk about it, but stay tuned, my loved ones. Thank you so much. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are in the world. Bye.